Kwa tayari? Economy nakupeleka aje bebe?
Economy. Say hata naambia Mungu asante. Because the time it was so quiet. It was so quiet. But do you know, I had told God, baby kitu ya kupea Mungu timeline. I told God in our line of business, tusipopata job by end of September. Yani by September katuja close clients. Kwa mwaka. Imeisha hivyo. Tunakauka. And then I was sharing with some friends of mine. And we're in a prayer group. We pray every day in the morning for ladies. So it's been really nice. And I was sharing with them. And you know, Mungu ali make sure September imeisha. October ndio kazi zimeanza kukuja. Because then they're telling you, unajua venye unapeanga Mungu na akasema ngoja. Chale umesema September it was so quiet. It was so quiet. She was like, ama we change line of business. What is not happening? We are approaching clients, mnaongea, mnafanya nini, msi anasema sawa, and then it just goes silent. Just goes silent. It was really bad. But since October, at least I can tell God, like, hey manzi, things are, they're not yet at there where we need, but at least things are moving. The fact that, you know, you have a client, another one, and inquiries, because these inquiries, I'm like, hey God. Hapo sasa niko hopeful.
I was thinking, from last week I've been thinking how we love to say, especially when we are expectant, you know, and are waiting on God for something. Usually the word that goes around, the people who are encouraging you, and even on our minds, we are thinking, wow, God of the 11th hour. Atakuja tu at the, you know, at the 11th hour here. But he's not God of the 11th hour. He's the God of the appointed time. He's the God of the appointed time. When he appointed, I was looking at Psalms 139, that the number of our days, even before one of it began, he had known even the end of it. Like the number of our days, everything concerning us is written, you know, and God knows about it. And there's nothing in that book that he wrote in any failure. Like everything that he wrote is good. Just as how you are planning to have a baby, you know, every thought you had concerning your child is good. Knowing that you're bringing them into a world where they will still suffer because they're coming into a fallen world. But you're not preoccupying your mind in thinking about the fallenness that she is coming into, but you're thinking of the things that you're going to pour into her. So when God thinks about us and the plans that he has for us, he had them even before we got here. And the thoughts that he has cannot be numbered. They are more than the sand of the sea. Like kama kuna mtu anaweza count ile sand iko kwa, then you can come around, you know, at least you can have an you know, a speck of an idea of the thoughts that God has for us. Like his thoughts are just so immeasurable and they are good
for sure. They've just reminded me, Kina Jeff, they're in that Nawiri class, and they were sharing, I think it's something we're always told about, you know, how God, nothing gets him by surprise. Nothing shocks him. Because someone was trying to tell us, you know, in our life, we think, in my life, I think I am, like, you think you're the star of this life, but we're just like a speck, because there have been people before us, and there will be people after us. So in this time, like, we're just a speck, but sometimes we get so preoccupied with our life that we think, you know, this is it. Like, ukianza kwa hivyo unakuwa too humble, because you're like, by the way, God ashajua, like, he knows nothing catches him by surprise. Nothing. Because he has already, I think new revelation venye they were described, see semi venye walisema, but naijua venye they were saying, and nowadays I think that's what we always say. Imagine God knew this would happen, as in God knows everything. Even you know, even we were talking and saying how we thought, like, what is always told is man fell, and then, you know, story continues, and then Jesus came as a plan B. But do you know, we were discussing and saying, even before man fell, God knew that man will fall, and he knew he would send his son. And so we were just like, by the way, tunadhaningi hizi vitu zinapata Mungu by surprise. And things think that's what I was sharing with a friend of mine during that time. I was we were in a period of waiting, because she was also in a period of waiting, and she told me, Shalom, nimelia, nimeacha kulia, things are not working, but kwenye nimefika nasimamia Mika 7:7, or was it Mika 1:7? Ile like now I'm just waiting for the Lord. Akaniambia, do you know, I will cry and do everything, but ile wakati Mungu amesema ndio anakuja, whether I kneel down and roll every day, ile time amesema anakuja ndio atakuja. He's never late, he's never early. That's the time he will come. So knowing that and saying, that's what I'm going to stand by, like when he says. So what can we do other than just
we trust him.
We just trust.
We trust him. You see, even when you look at the fall and how man fell, the most fascinating thing about the story of God is that Jesus was not a plan B. That this was like Jesus was slain before the foundation. So just look at them. So even the problems that we have right now, the things that we think are hiccups, and like if Jesus was the lamb who was slain before the foundations of the, even before Satan approached Eve, even before Eve was formed from Adam's rib, even before God, took the ground, the sand of the ground to make man, Jesus had already been crucified. So when we look at our problems and the things that we are facing, and we are like, this is a mountain. This is a mountain. And Job comes and asks us, who is man? Who are we? Like God tells Job, if you're a man, stand. Stand and tell me where you were when I placed the stars there.
True.
Yeah, just stand and tell me where you were.
It humbles you, because you think
it humbles you and brings you to that point of trust.
Ultimate trust. Like
trust.
God, you got, there's nothing more I can do other than just wait on you. If it's, let me just thank you. Let me just put my trust in you and just know. And imagine there's in as much as someone might say it's not, there's a pressure that is offloaded when you think like that. Like, me, I'm just waiting on God. I'm just trusting. I'll do my things. But imagine I am waiting on him. Like, our pressure is, because you're thinking that, it's me. I have to make my own, it's me and it's my hands.
You're carrying a cross that has already been carried. That cross has already been, like, Christ has already carried that cross. The great, if you're born again, the great exchange already happened. So you're carrying that cross illegitimately, and so you don't have the grace to carry it. It's like when they sell sahi wambeo jailer, arrest me, I stole someone's chicken, but the judge already forgave you and gave you freedom, but you're taking yourself to the jailer, saying, bind me. Nena kwambia, I have nothing against you. Like your file has absolutely, it's empty, but you're still there. So sata umejijail, uko hapo umejijail. But once you realize the freedom that Christ has set us free for liberty, it is for freedom that He has set us free. Yeah, it is for freedom that He has set us free. It's amazing. It's an amazing place to be at. Yeah. And so even as we talk about welcome, guys.
We went down.
So welcome to Ready to Mingle. We're still with Shalom. So if you've not watched last week's episode, you need to go back and watch it. We started the conversation who called last week. So when we talk about how God thought about us even before we got here. And so what I want to ask is, did you think about your children, your child, before she was conceived?
Wow. Of course, as you said, us girls, we start with, thinking, and growing up, I always knew I wanted to become a mom. Like, that's something I always wanted to become a mom. I knew one day, Manze, I just have to be a mom. So I think now, before Ngendo now, we had 2 miscarriages. I think the first one was now unexpected, where you're like, oops. But anyway, tuendelee.
Oh, so sorry, I didn't know that. How was that experience?
It was rough. It was really rough. Especially now, the first one was rough because it has happened, and then when you share, guys tell you these things happen. People share. Yeah, it has also happened to me. So it happens.
How old was
it was around weeks, probably like 7 weeks. Yeah, the first time it was 7 weeks. So. But tell you, there'll be another chance, and you're like, okay. Now the second one is the one that, it was really hard because on both sides, on Jeff's side and my side. And of course, as a woman, you're like, what is happening to my body? As in God, I always knew I wanted to be a mom. What is
my
not
body rejecting children?
What is not happening? So now the second one was actually really, really tough. But I think just prayers and guys talking to you and
the community,
and just
friends,
sharing with guys and guys. Imagine we've been through that. It has happened before. Of course, that really doesn't help you at the moment. Telling someone because it's. I felt like it's
it's a personal.
You
went through it, but
you went through it
now,
right now. How I'm feeling, you can try and encourage someone. It's nice to hear that these things are happening at that moment. Even when you go online and you find people have been through this, at least you don't feel like. Because I think the first thing is what is wrong with my body? Like what is wrong? What is happening? But then now you see, it's been there. I think now, at least this day and age, people are talking about it. So even if it's there, it's not many, but at least that I can say at least it gives you hope. Like you're not alone. It's not anywhere peke yako mwili yako imekata. So I think now after the second one, we were like, hey, me. I don't even know what Jeff was thinking at that time, but of course he also told me he felt really down. He's like, hey, what's happening? He had reached a point, ataki like when he sees someone has a child, he's like, that will have been us, things of that sort.
How old was the second one?
It was also around now, probably 8 weeks, just around there. I was still in the first trimester.
Okay.
Yeah. So now when Nyendo came, I think we were now in that space where we're like, we now want a child. Like we feel like we're there, and also you're crossing fingers like, hey, they have seen my body. Where like it's a. Like, because I even remember the first trimester, the moment I knew I was pregnant, mbio hosi, mungeni tengenezea kaswes nishingi hosi, because I'm like, give me those the supplements, give me check if everything is okay, check. So but at least family was really supportive. Kina mom, my parents even telling me, these things happen. My big sister also telling me these things happen, and just telling you take it one day at a time. So when we found out we were pregnant with Nyendo, now it was of course the anxiety was out of the roof, like in terms of Nini, but just praying and just telling God, Aki fine, Aki God, let me hold this baby. Like that was always my prayer. Because I remember when I was like 23 weeks, I had like I went to the washroom and found that I was kind of bleeding. I remember the anxiety. I started crying and telling God, why? Like, just, but things I found that kumbe ni hemorrhoids. Sometimes they bleed. But at that time, because we went to the hospital, they checked, everything was fine. The baby was fine. She was in. But at that moment, I was like, Guy, Mungu, I have till now. Why? Yani at this time, umeniacha nimesho. The anxiety and but God really came through, and now we have Nyendo.
Nyendo is such a sweet girl. So what would you say to that mom in the waiting, and they've probably gone through miscarriages?
Gosh, what can I tell you? I think as we've said, God knows everything. I think if I stood on that during that time, if I knew that, I think, you know it, but you never really come to that revelation or that, there's nothing new to God. Because when I was crying, I was like, kwani Mungu, mbona ule? I was like, mbona imeni, nikata iwe imekushock. Like, ulijua ita happen, mbona umeniacha nipitie this thing and everything. So it's just, I think just God is the one who can who can really speak to you at that time.
Yeah, true.
No, not man. I think even if I tell you I relate, I can't relate, because I see now there's people who can even have like 13 miscarriages or
Wow.
even 8
Yeah,
miscarriages,
true.
you know, and you just keep on. And also when you're in the season of waiting, I think that revelation that there's nothing new,
Yeah.
that God, or not thinking that God doesn't know this,
Yeah.
because he's seen it, and it is all for his glory.
Yeah.
So just having that trust, as we're saying, just have trust in God that he'll come through at his time. Yeah, when it's his time, it will come through. So just that, because I don't know, I stopped asking myself those questions of, you know, what, why, or, you know, because I just said at his time he knows best, and he already knows what's happening. So let me just trust it and wait on that.
Nothing catches him
by surprise. As it catches us, but to him nothing is not surprise.
Plus we are in a fallen world. We're in a foreign world. Some actually never even get to you know, get pregnant. They wait, and they, you know, they go to the grave without even ever experiencing pregnancy. Some have miscarriages up to 13, as you're saying. And all these, we will never have answers for everything. But all in all, we just look at God as the supreme. And it's not like he loves some more than others. Because you will walk on the streets of Nairobi and find a street woman, you know, high on drugs and breastfeeding at the same time. And so the question would be, God, where is the balance? Like, I have a husband, I have a family, I've lived my life out for you, but why would you choose a person who is on the street, you know, who does not have the privileges that I can give to that child? Why not give that child to me? And so you go back to that scripture and says that before I formed you in your mother's womb. So it is God who chooses the womb of the mother. True. It is God who chooses the womb of the mother. So and once these children go out, they don't stop living. They go to God.
God, for sure.
They go to God, and they are children. When we go to heaven, we will have them. You will see your children. So I attended a class some time ago, and the lady who was training us, just theology stuff, she had I think 2 miscarriages, and she had 2 children. So she would introduce herself as a mother of 4. She would say, I'm a mother of 4. I have 2 children here with me, but 2 are with the Lord. They are now 7 years. The other one is 4 years. You know, he would introduce them like that, because it's not like they are not in existence. They are alive with the Lord. So I would say you're a mom of 3.
It'll get me all emotional, because we had anyway, you know, get there.
So how was the pregnant now after 26 weeks? You've had that episode. You're still looking out, you know. You're excited and scared at the same time.
I was very scared, and I think that's one of the things that, because I remember some friends of mine even wanted to do like a baby shower, and I was like, no, you guys, and I don't want to do anything with a baby shower, because I don't know if I know they're doing it out of love and, you know, out of joy, but for me, I'm like, I don't want to celebrate this when it,
and then it remains that those are the memories
that I have, you know, much, like it will be too much. I don't want to have it was, because I remember even telling Jeff, now when we're like around 28 weeks now, and you know they're kicking, if I stay for a while and that baby has not kicked, oh my God, he keeps on saying we spent so much money in the hospital, because guy, I remember twende scan hajacheza kutoka asubuhi, sijasikia kitu. I was so scared by the anxiety, and I think also that led me to make some decisions, like, you know, I want to do a cesarean, like, because now I used to hear stories, you know, maybe you labor and then they cord, and then, you know, I was trying to control
a lot
as
of
much
anxiety. You didn't want the unknown.
I was trying to really control so much, and I think in hindsight that time I should have just left it to God, but you know, I felt like I need, and saying don't know, it's not up to me, it's not up to me and to my hands, because God had said at this time whether nifanye hizi vitu ama nikose, she will come. But also I think that trying to have everything in control at that moment, of course in hindsight it's because of that experience and but yeah, I really had that anxiety till nimwone hivi, and I think of course that anxiety never goes away. Hata sasa akiwa mkubwa I'll still make phone calls, but I think nowadays I just leave it to God. I think that revelation of is nothing new for him.
And he's a good father. He's a good father. He means well.
Yeah.
I remember I met you when you were pregnant. You were how many weeks then? I think it was August or something. 2022.
It was August. That was like, because there's but I think it's because I'm small, so by 4 months I was already showing. I think it was like that must have been like 6 months.
I think
around 6. In weeks. That time you know things by weeks. You don't know by months. yes. 26. So we met the time we came. Nice. It was a nice.
And so I mean, when I look back, like how I met you guys, I was the new one now.
In the family.
I have come, I'm being introduced, I'm tense. I'm like, what?
Gosh, you're tense. And you're going to meet young people. I'm like, what?
I'm going to meet young people. Yes, but I'm a stranger. I'm a stranger who has come to invade in their space with their single brother.
Wow.
But then again, when I came into the family, shortly after Brian got sick, you remember? He got sick, and I actually came to your place because you guys were taking care of him. And I didn't know. I felt so hopeless because I'm looking at you. You're pregnant. And you're taking care of him, like he's under all this medication. I don't even know how you managed. How did you manage through that season and you're taking care of a sick person?
Gosh, I don't know. I didn't feel it like that. Now you're saying it. I didn't feel it like that because I think it's from, like I said, Kwetu, we've been like tight. And then also Jeff and his brothers, I can say they're tight. Like the mom really has them really tight. So for me, it wasn't, I didn't feel like I just saw this is like, if I'm taking care of Faye, Faye is my sister. Like, this is Brand. It's not like, I don't know. I didn't feel like a burden because he needs us at that time. He needs us at that time, and I'm the one who is available at that time to women, as they say, we are the natural and everything. They're brothers. So as a woman, and it's Brian, like. Because now when I joined the family, from Jean to Brian to it just felt like now I have brothers. We are girls, and so I came into a family that are all boys. They're all boys. So I was like their little sister, and it never felt like it's just Brian. And then there was nothing, we didn't feel it. And then at least we were with Jeff. So kawaida things, just looking after your brother when he's ill, just like he will look after us or something. And then have in mind that Jeff, most of the time he was either at Jean's place or Brian's place. So they have kind of like really, that age gap between Jeff and Brian is like 20 years. So they have been his deputy parents. So it didn't feel like a burden per se. It just felt like we need to be here. Like it's our responsibility at that time to be there because mom is not here. So who else will do this? It's just, it didn't feel.
What did you feel? You personally, like when I came in
the picture. Gosh. And then you came that time when now he was sick, and so just crossing fingers, like, will she go? Will she go? Because before we met, Brian was telling us about you, and he was excited, and as you guys are talking, and of course I would hear from Jeff, hey Brian amepata mtu nini, and based on I don't know much prior because I wasn't there, but then of course. If someone is sick, you have that. Will they accept him as he is, or will this be a deal breaker? And Brian has his hopes high. madly in love, if you can say that. Yeah. So of course I had that. Now will she run away?
Yeah.
Will she bolt out of the door and go? Yeah. So I was just there like, will she? Will she not? Will she? Will she not? So yeah, thank God, Manzi. Thank God for Anne.
But you know, when I came in, I don't know why I'm getting emotional. When I came in and I think he was in the room, he was sleeping, and then you went to wake him.
Yeah.
He came out, and he's just smiling.
He's smiling because you know that maid's there, like very strong.
And he cannot even talk.
He
can talk. He's just there smiling, you know. Yeah. And I'm like, now I talk to you, but you're like, hey, welcome. And I'm like, wait, relax. This is an emergency. Like, what do we do? You know, I'm like, just looking at you, looking at him is just quiet. And I'm looking at you, you're just smiling. And you're pregnant. You're smiling, you're pregnant, you're excited. And I'm like, what? Like, is this something you're not telling me? You know? And I would ask you, like, so did he eat? Did he sleep? I don't even know the right questions to ask. Because like he had told me that the issues and everything concerning his medication and what would happen and past experiences and all that. So I was aware. But you know, seeing it live,
is different.
I'm like, what?
Yeah, I think it's because for me, it was also I think my first time, but I think it's because Jeff is telling me he's okay, he's on a medication, so everyone is calm. So I had no reason to panic or anything, because we've just been told side effects, drowsiness, so he'll sleep a lot. As long as now he's taking the medication, they'll help him and everything. So for me it was he's okay. They'll go for a walk, but then come back, we eat. When he's awake, we talk, then he goes back to sleep. So I was just everything is okay. I think also my panic level wasn't as high because I was like, everything is okay. The doctor said he's okay, so everything is okay. There's not much to it. What was it for you? Did you have like a bolt moment?
For me, no. I was like, because like the decisions had already been made prior to that. Like, actually, like the major decisions were made before he actually relapsed. So like we had talked, and when I got the phone call, because I was still praying and thinking, like, is this for real? Am I going to go in entirely? But we had talked, really talked, and had very good conversations around life and everything. And of course, he's mature. We're mature people, so we know what we want. We knew what we wanted. And so, knowing that this is a possibility, and then he had told me that he believes that God has healed him. So this was like on our second date. That's when he told me that he's healed, and so he had stopped taking his medication. So he had stopped. So I was like, okay. Like I've just met you, so I really
don't want to try.
I didn't know the magnitude of the condition. So I was just okay, and so knowing him as a person, I didn't see anything negative in regards to the condition, because you can get married to somebody who has diabetics. It's the same. Someone who has a high blood pressure. Even someone who is suffering depression. But this is a person. This is a person that you can marry someone who does not have one leg. They were amputated, but does not make him a quarter less of a person. So I did not see as if he was less of a man or less of a person because he was taking medication. So I saw it as part of life. So I didn't like when it happened, when I got that phone call, I was like, I think this is it. Like, that's when everything was sealed for me. I was like, okay, sawa, I'm in. I'm in Kanisa. I didn't have that. Like, instead, it's just cemented everything. But again, I felt hopeless when I saw him and I saw you, and I was like, I should be the one taking care of him. But still, it was very early in the relationship. Yeah, it was. Plus, I was just going back to work. Like in a very few days, I was leaving, and I was going to go away for a few months. So it was it was a very trying moment for us. Yeah,
but I think, as you say, God is kind of like, I feel like if you didn't see that at that moment, even though you're saying now that's when you sealed the deal, like, now that you're like, it's either I'm in or I'm out, and this is the real deal. Like, take it. It's like God is saying, take it. Is this what you want? Take it or leave it. So I feel like God sometimes puts us there to just, like, and shajua, it can't get worse than this. And you've already seen this is it. So I think God turned your designer.
Exactly.
Why it happened at that moment. Yeah, God is,
only He knows.
He knows. Yeah. So good job for that, Manze.
Wow. And you too, good job. Really.
I didn't feel like it was a job.
Like, I mean, the way you I don't know. It was just amazing to see that.
I didn't feel. I've never even thought about it like that.
And then I started coming almost every day.
Every day.
I'm like, I want to spend the time that I had before leaving.
Back, and
checking on him.
Wow. It was beautiful.
It was. And so we're talking about Nyendo. Now you decided to have a C-section.
So I decided to have a C-section, as of course majorly one because of that anxiety of like, you go labor, I don't know what happened in labor, now you have to go for an emergency CS and everything. And then also I was just like, my mom had us through CS, my sisters have had their kids through CS, so I was like, I don't want to go labor and then still go back to CS. And I was like, it's okay as long as the baby is here and she's healthy. And she's here. She's here. So we did the CS, and she was that CS is like 15 minutes. 15 minutes later, it's done. It's here, and I think Jeff tells me he was right there by the door, and then my mom had come, Kina Brayo had come, they were just there at the door. So kalikuja tu kaka amechukuliwa, shoe ameenda nako huko juu, now to the room. Na tukaanza uzazi.
So amazing. How did you hear the first cry?
She cried like she cried for a very short time. Even the doctor was like, this looks like a very calm baby. But of course you are really waiting for that cry, because you're always told if you don't hear that cry, something is wrong. So the doctor, she was really nice. So maliza hiyo kazi yake, I keep on telling Jeff, yes, unasikia nyama choma, tagging, because sometimes they burn the fat even with I think ni moto or something. Because I used to tell him, niko nasikia nyama choma, uko na shanga nini, kumbe ni mimi. So
you were awake.
I was awake. You just can't see.
Even the whole time they're sewing you back.
I'm awake.
Me, mine is, I usually tell Brian it's a horror story for me. It's like, not horror, don't you know? I'm like, it's horror. Because I don't get numb.
You're like my sister.
So I tell them, I am feeling what you guys are doing. God. Get me that injection again. So they stop and inject me again, but I'm still feeling. So I cry, I tell them, please, I'm still feeling what you guys are doing. I can, you're splitting my story. I describe what they're doing. So it's horror. When I say it's horror, and I was like, how do you mean horror?
There's something about genes and those anesthesia.
It doesn't work.
It doesn't work. Because even my sister was telling me like that. Like she even felt like she would sue that hospital. Because she felt, and then she was under. So she doesn't take the half. She was under. So she's under, but she can't talk. But she can feel them. So I had that fear. I remember going and I was asking the guy, now, are you sure I won't feel, whatever is going? Because the only feeling I had was when they're, like, you're being swayed like this, I think, when they're in the stomach. But other than that, oh my God, so sorry, Anne. That's a horror story.
It's something I never want to go back to.
Gosh.
Yeah.
Oh my God, so sorry.
It's usually, for me, it's usually,
anyway.
Inakuwaga horror by the way.
Yeah,
Kama
that's
inakuwaga horror.
horror. Ay,
Kusa hiyo hauna hata nguvu. You want to grab this person. You want to yeah. So I think because of how I complain after they take out the baby, then they just sedate me and put me to sleep. And like a double dose or whatever. But I go entirely. I go into darkness entirely. But that whole process for me,
wow.
And then I had high blood pressure. So I didn't even go home afterwards. I stayed in the hospital for another 2-3 weeks.
That's with Joy.
With Joy.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Even with Jay, I felt, but I didn't get BP. I didn't get, but I felt and felt the thing. Yeah.
Oh, Paul, I can't even imagine what that must feel like. Yeah.
It's not an easy experience.
Yeah. Oh,
Wait, this is your interview. So Ngendo is here. You're holding her.
Yeah, Ngendo is here.
So after you wake up.
After I didn't wake up. See, it's hard. So they take me to the recovery room. I'm so chatty. The side effects of those drugs. I was so chatty. I was so chatty one day. I think those nurses are like, who is this girl? Chattier than usual. Telling the nurses, wow, good job. Where's the baby? I want to see the baby. Talking with everyone. And then now, of course, the downer after that. So sleepy, and then now with the healing and everything. But of course we were very excited. Is here, the dad is excited, and we just got into parenting. Of course, the first night she slept. The first night is when she didn't sleep. We had a lot of crying, and thank God we were able to. Jeff was able to stay with us during that period. So at least I was able to sleep at night. He takes the baby, but of course you have to breastfeed and everything. So waking up. Yeah, and then so now after just stayed in the hospital like two nights, 2 days, and then we came back home, and then now deep into the murkiness of parenting, and the first 3 months, oh my God, it's the jungle. I remember that part. I'm like, actually 3 months, no. I now understand why in some cultures the first 3 months it's like. Or the first month, you just go stay with your mom or your mom-in-law.
Or your mom comes.
Yeah, or your mom comes. I think that's one thing I would say. Like, if I were doing this again, I don't want to be asked what are we eating at that time. I don't want to be asked, kitu flani imeisha, tuende kwa duka. Because I didn't have that. I didn't know that. That time, you think you can do it. You think, I think I have planned myself so well. Moja, nimejipanga vizuri. But what they don't tell you is when... After 2 hours, this baby wakes up.
Yes.
I have to feed her. And then also in the hospital, you've been told after 2 hours, even if they don't wake up, wake them up, feed them.
Yeah.
So after every 2 hours, and now during the day when you want to sleep for those 2 hours, unaamshwa, kitu fulani hakuna. Sijui nini. You see now that you won't even rest well. So I think I always say that first month felt like I was just, it's like a wave. I'm just... And then of course the medication, the CS the pain medication, So that month I was just going like this. It's like I'm here, but let's do this. I'm here, but I'm not here. But it was tough. It was tough that first month. And then also the realization that life for the mom is the one that stops for that time, because Jeff by 2 weeks after his paternity leave he was back to work, back to guys are inviting him for birthdays. He'll go. You can't cancel that month. You can't go in. It's just clinic and back home. Clinic. So that 1 month of just you're with this baby. After 2 hours. After 2 hours. It was rough. It was rough. That and I think I thank God for a friend of mine. She had told me after when the baby comes, because people tell you things change, but they never really, they'll tell you finances, marriage, but what exactly are you saying about this marriage? And one thing she told me is that you might even resent your husband, because for you your life will stop, but for him, imagine it won't stop. This guy will still sleep at night. You will resent the fact that he's sleeping, but there's nothing, especially when you're breastfeeding, you're the one with the baby. So you're the one who is going to breastfeed that baby. So even after 2 hours, even if he ngorotas there, there's nothing you can do. So I thank God for her, because when she told me that, even as I entered into this phase,
Yeah.
and as I started feeling like, where is this? Where it feels like I'm the one doing
all
all the
the
work,
work.
and then he's just here saying my daughter, and I'm not doing
then
all the
produce her.
I produce,
Yeah,
I'm
you're
here in
feeding,
the trenches with her.
Yeah.
But at least she had told me that. So even as I'm like, once you have information, you
Yes.
don't feel like this is something foreign.
Yeah, true.
Because probably I would have asked myself, why am I feeling like this?
Mm.
I don't feel like this person no unani like
Yeah.
So I thank God that she had told me these things, and she had told me like practically you will feel like this, and when you feel like you're overwhelmed, talk to someone. When you feel like really don't feel like you're alone. Don't feel, because I think when you feel you're alone or struggling alone, that's when people even have postpartum gets in there, because you feel like you're alone. You have to be perfect. You have to do it all. I think that aspect. But just having, as I said, that community of people who are telling you, it doesn't have to be. You don't have to do it all. You when you ask help, ask for someone. Let someone come in and help you throughout this process. So the first 3 months they were tough, but I thank God Ngendo wasn't at here. We didn't have colic. We didn't have. She was an okay baby in terms of she'll wake up, eat, go back to sleep, wake up, eat, go back to sleep. But I think it's that's the demand
for you to do the things that must be done.
And that toil, like if you don't,
plus your body is still adjusting. To not, you're not pregnant now.
Even the hormonal. And I keep on telling someone, for moms, when you immediately now become a mom, it's like the world automatically assumes you are ready for this. And I was telling them, yesterday this baby was in my belly. Today, you guys, all of a sudden, I need to know these things. I need now to be a mom. How? I'm the same Shalom that was there yesterday. I'm still the same. Nothing new that has changed or everything. So I think it was tough the first 3 months. But at least we've been able to get into now. I think even now is when now I'm starting to feel like myself, because I remember I kept on asking my friend, hi Lois, kept on asking her, when will I ever feel like myself? Like I don't feel like me. I don't know who I am, but this is not Shalom. And I can't even explain what kind of Shalom I mean, but I don't feel like myself. So when will I feel like me? Like, I kept on asking her. And she was saying, even 2 years later, you might not even feel like you. And it's true, you might not, because the Shalom before didn't have a child.
Now you're a mom.
And now my mom. My priorities, of course, shuffled and shift. And, they are everywhere. But I like, at least right now I can say, you get into it. I don't know if I'm back to myself. I mean, it's just a new me that now gets everything. But I'm finally starting to feel like,
I think parenting changes people. It changes people. It grows you. And it helps you to also discover that you're actually very strong. That wow,
I can do this. I can do this. As you're saying, it brings out. I had someone saying how after she got her kids, that's when she knew, kumbe I can be a hustler. Like I can hustle. Now we are.
You'll sleep knowing that your child might go hungry.
Now you hustle, like you push yourself. The things I didn't think I knew, now I have to know and learn and really learn how to. So it brings that side to you, like you will have to hustle hard. You'll have to do what. But also, I think I thank God that in that process, I had a community of, family, of course, friends, and of course, even Jeff. In as much as he was there, and he was really a big support. And we're raising this child together. And he's really involved. And for that, I don't take it for granted.
Wow, that's a wonderful statement. I think we'll end it there for tonight, and then we come back on the next episode.
Oh gosh!
Talk about the real work, the parenting, the decisions you have to make, how you're bringing up this child. Because remember how you are brought up. Most of the values you have are because of the kind of upbringing you had. So what kind of upbringing? Do you make decisions alone? Do you make decisions as a couple? Do you consult your parents? Do you consult your own upbringing in order to make decisions on how you're going to parent your child? Do you consult your millennial sister? Or your African mom and dad? So we're going to talk about parenting from the Gen Z perspective. Yeah.
Gosh, what's different? You'll tell me what's different.
We're going to talk about it because I'm also a mom to a Gen Z. Yeah, I'm a mom to a Gen Z. If you don't know, my firstborn, scroll back.
We had a really good conversation.
Yeah, she was on the show and we had a very good conversation, and she will come back. We'll get her back.
She gives us her side of the story.
Yes. All right, so let's see you again on Friday on Ready to Mingle with Annie and Shalom.
Oh, yay!
Bye.
Bye.